Welcome to Hawaii, everyone. Look alive. You're at the Motor Fest.
Gather up, everyone. Photo time. right, everyone, settle down. I know you're all excited. That chopper ride is always a trip. So, welcome again to the Motorfest. I'm Malu, the Motorfest PR, and I'm here to get you up to speed. You are our special guests, athletes, festival goers, car lovers, all gathered here in majestic Hawaii. These are the festival grounds, but we've got the whole island set up for... We've created a place where you can drive anything, from the iconic to the super customized. It's a Motorfest branded, lovingly crafted car culture celebration. We call these lovelies the playlists. And I'm not just reading from the Motorfest app here either. I tried them out before you arrived, and here, let me show you. This playlist is a unique Motorfest experience. It's called Made in Japan. Made in Japan is the way to experience Japanese car culture. It's where tarmac meets tradition. From mountain peaks to city streets, this neon journey is not one to miss. Playlists out for you is what I call a perk of the job. Right in the center of all the action, racing these Japanese drift masters, just awesome. Racing my way through mountains and motorways was amazing. But the next playlist was Off-Roading Addict, a chance to race into the wild. Driving off-road gives you an opportunity to carve your own path, to explore the open expanse. The island becomes your playground. Total freedom becomes your creed. Fours, pickups, quads, you're given every chance to go off the beaten path. is freedom, improvisation. But the next playlist is all about the competition. Aptly named the Motorsports playlist, this one is for the pros. Motorsports is built around racing to the top, the thrill of competing. But it's also about strategic choices, decision-making under pressure. No better feeling than triumphing with your team in what some consider the apex of motorsports. Making the call when to go for the pit stop, checking on your rivals, it gets intense. Felt good to be the champion, but then I got to go old school. Vintage Garage, a playlist for the true car aficionado. These cars, it's not just about the look or the nostalgia. It's how these things drive, how they feel, how they steer. It was quite a challenge, in the best way possible. Outside of some collector car park, when would you ever get a chance to take these venerable legends for a spin? That's the power of Vintage Garage. A taste of an age where there was no nitro to boost you and no GPS to guide you. Feels strangely comforting. Out with the old and in with the new, they say. The next playlist is legendary. Lamborghini. A playlist to truly experience the iconic, the trailblazing. I'm running out of adjectives here. saw that Lamborghini logo, you knew what this playlist was gonna be. Some of the most recognizable car designs in existence at your disposal. Nothing quite like some of these cars. It's like a speed race through the story of Lamborghini, one of power and innovation. Riding the full roster of these legends was a rare privilege. A privilege Motorfest graciously gave me. And now, it's your turn. Like what you saw? Well, those were just the tip of the iceberg. But we've got to go step by step. Follow me. Look around you. This is what it's all about. Cars, bikes, rides, and good vibes. You'll get to explore the festival soon enough. And let's not forget, we're in Hawaii. And there's no better place to express yourself. Show off your flair. Customize your ride. It's a car culture buffet. Keep up. We're going to go meet the star of the show. Your car, of course. Come on. It's time for you to pick your ride. Once you pick your car, I'll hand you over to Kara, your personal AI assistant. When in doubt, you can always rely on her to guide you.
Assistance engaged. All engines, go. Hello, driver. I'm Kara. Let me assist you in choosing a playlist. Made in Japan. American Must. 9/11 Legacy. Rule the Street. Hawaii Scenic. Playlist cleared and ready for takeoff, driver.
There's been time where I was working 12 to 14-hour days, 7
We put this playlist together to give you a taste of Japanese racing culture.
days a week, working 2 or 3 different jobs sometimes, just to pay for another hour of flying and another flying lesson, and yeah, it's been worth it.
Welcome back to Motorfest, the podcast. My name is Becky Evans, and this is a podcast brought to you by Red Bull and Ubisoft's iconic game, The Crew Motorfest. Now, in this podcast, this is where I get to talk to motorsport athletes about their passions, all things speed, wings, and wheels. And you know what the really cool thing is? You could actually listen to this podcast whilst you're playing the game. So grab one of your dream vehicles, jump in, strap in, because you're about to hear from the athletes that actually get to drive these in the real world. Let's get the show started. Now, today we've got a very, very special guest. We're going to be chatting to Luke Chapella. Luke is a multi-award-winning Red Bull Air Race winner, known for his precision, skill, and fearless flying. From winning the Challenger Cup to landing a plane on a helipad in Dubai, Luke is committed to pushing the boundaries of flying. Luke, we're delighted to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I'm just going to jump straight into it. I am terrified of flying. So when I knew I was going to be chatting to you, I was thinking this guy is going to have to tell me everything that gets him up in the morning and says, you know what, I'm going to do a loop in a plane.
Flying aerobatics gives you such a freedom. It's not every day that you can fly aircraft upside down, or you can fly it in reverse, like at 60 kilometers per hour. All the G-forces that we experience, it's something that you cannot experience on the ground. That's why I'm so happy to share it with other people, give them the taste of the freedom that we get, and spread the joy of flying.
Now, I come from a drifting background, and I was around cars from a very, very young age, and it was actually my dad who sort of ignited that in me, because I remember seeing him playing with his race car in the garage. It was the same kind of for you, wasn't it? You went to an air show when you were a very small boy, and then that was it. You were hooked.
Yeah, absolutely. My spark ignited when I was 6 years old. My dad took me to the air show in Poland, and it's just been amazing. I was watching a aerobatic display, and the aircraft was doing a tail slide. It's a figure where you go vertically up, and it seems like you're shutting down the engine, and the aircraft starts to slide back on its tail. And I saw it as a 6-year-old kid, and I was like, Dad, I'm gonna do it in the future. And many 6-year-old kids have different dreams every week. Sometimes you want to be a policeman, the week after you want to be a fireman. But for me, it has never changed. I've been flying now for 26 years, and I still love it.
That's absolutely crazy that you just picked your direction and just stuck with it. I mean, your first flight lesson, you were 14 years old, and then by 16, you'd got your license. So there was definitely method in your madness. This was all moving towards where you are today.
I was so motivated. Like from this air show, I started playing with aircraft models, free-flying models, and then I just went to the airport and I became what's known as a hangar rat. Cleaning the airplanes for everyone. And in exchange, that they would take me for a flight and usually let me fly the aircraft, give me the first lessons. By the time I went solo at 16, I was over the moon. It's been a lot of hard work, but so rewarding as well.
Luke, we were just saying to you just then, flying was always going to be what you were going to do. And I'm going to give you a question, which I almost feel like I know what the answer is already. If you could be a car, a plane, a boat, or a motorbike, which would you be and why?
Yeah, of course I'd go for a plane, but this is what my life is all about. It's always been about flying. I have 13,500 hours a year. That's like 4 years of my life, 10% of my life has been spent in the air. So I just want to be a better pilot with every flight I take.
I'd love to know more about the bullseye stunt. I mean, we saw and heard it at the beginning of the episode. Personally, for me, I remember seeing that, and I watched the video and I had a heart attack and was like, oh my God. But obviously I know that this guy made this happen because everyone's celebrating it, but I couldn't cope with it.
I almost got a heart attack on the first one as well. It was incredibly difficult project that we did. Landing a plane in such a short distance, it's not something very unusual for this kind of aircraft, but landing the plane on a small helipad that is 600 feet in the air, 200 meters above sea level, that hasn't been done before, and it comes with a lot of difficulties. One of those difficulties is that the shape of the building created very special wind vortices, like a little tornadoes coming up the building, hitting the helipad, and these tornadoes wanted to suck in my aircraft and throw it towards the building. And that's what happened on the first two attempts when the winds were quite strong. So usually if you try to land short, you want a lot of wind because the wind will assist you, but not on a helipad. On a helipad, the less wind we had was easier to fly with the plane. So all in all, it took me like 650 practice landings before I went for the actual landing on the helipad, and the first two attempts on the helipad on a windy day, they were not very successful, and then we had to reset and try again the day after, so that was quite challenging.
I feel like the stakes are quite high, especially when you're doing something like that as well. Not only are you on like the Red Bull world stage creating a moment in history, there's the practical element of it as well, of trying to land this thing on a really tall building.
Yeah, so for me, being the best pilot I can be, it's the most rewarding. I'm not doing any of this for fame or money or whatever. I'm just doing it to show that I'm good, and I always want to be the best I can be, and I think we proved with this project that was one of the toughest things
New playlist ahead. Let's go!
I ever did with the plane, and now we can see how successful the project was. We have like way over 1 billion views on the videos all over the platforms. So.
That's brilliant. I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, for you guys that are listening at home,
We put this playlist together to give you a taste of Japanese racing culture.
sport, the sky is literally the limit with this. Aerobatics is a bit like acrobatics, except you're flying an aircraft. There's a lot of other things to consider though when you are flying. There's obviously safety, speed, weather. Luke, can you give us a rundown of like 3 main things that you have to be watching out for when you attempt to do some aerobatics in the sky?
Yeah, I think first will be the weather. All our aircraft don't have very sophisticated instruments, so we have to fly what's known as VFR condition, visual flying rules. We always have to see them.
Spoiler alert! You'll be doing everything from drifting in the mountains to racing heavily customized vehicles. And there's no one better than Japanese speed racers to show you the ropes. You'll get extra detail real soon, but let's head to the container first.
And we have to stay outside of the clouds, and the winds play a big factor. Then, of course, is the technical standard of the aircraft. We always try to make sure that the aircraft is airworthy. Having an engine failure approaching a helipad so close to the building or flying upside down 2 meters above the runway, it's an extreme sport. So second, for sure, would be the technical side, and I think the third, but as equal as the other two, would be, of course, pilot fitness, and we want to make sure I'm rested, I'm in a good physical condition. The G-forces is something that we fight with a lot. We fight from -8 Gs to +10. What it means, I can get up to 10 times heavier, like weighing 80 kilos. I have 800 kilos of force hitting my body. The blood is 10 times heavier, and it drains away from the brain, goes towards my legs, and you can faint and you can lose your consciousness, and that can be, of course, very dangerous when you're close to the ground flying at 400 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, that does sound pretty crazy. I've seen some of the videos, where people when they put passengers in the plane. That's why I'm frightened, Luke, when you said I can go in the plane.
Here we go! you discover almost everything the Japanese drivers have to offer. Let's move on to another activity.
Back to the interview.
It's very
This activity
dangerous when you're close to the ground, flying at 400 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, that does sound pretty crazy. I've seen some of the videos, you know, where people, when they put passengers
promises to be engaging.
in the plane. That's why I'm frightened, Luke, when you said I can go in the plane. I'd be like,
There's a special gathering tonight at the Japanese temple. The start of a whole new experience. Here's what to expect when getting there. A traditional Japanese summer vibe and lots of kyusha cars, meaning iconic, classic, and made in Japan. On top of this, expect some exciting encounters.
pass out. I'd be rubbish. You'd be looking back and I'd just be asleep in the back seat. Terrible. Luke, help us understand a little bit more about the specifics of your job. I mean, because what people...
That's right. Motorfest has got some killer people to introduce you to an authentic Japanese racing experience. Don't worry, you'll meet them soon enough.
To know is obviously you compete in Red Bull Air Race as well, and that is a competition. So what are the skills?
Sorry you had to wait, kid. Want to show us what you can do? Try this car then.
Kiddo, game on. We're going for some proper Japanese street racing. Let's show them, guys.
Gotcha. Got it.
Sure, why not? Motorfest asked us to show you how it's done, but we don't do free tours here. You gotta play your part and give us a bit of a challenge.
No pressure at all.
Yeah, don't scare the kid, brother. Are you familiar with the Honda you're driving? The NSX isn't your regular street car. It was made back in the 90s to stand neck and neck with the likes of Ferrari and Porsche.
You sound just like Shingo. Speaking about Shingo, you know that if a rookie beats us with his NSX, we won't hear the end of it, right?
I don't even want to think about giving Shingo the satisfaction.
Better focus and win this thing then.
Kiddo, game on. We're going for some proper Japanese street racing. Let's show them, guys.
Gotcha. Got it.
Sure, why not?
Motorfest asked us to show you how it's done, but we don't do free tours here. You gotta play your part and give us a bit of a challenge.
No pressure at all.
Yeah, don't scare the kid, brother.
Are you familiar with the Honda you're driving? The NSX isn't your regular street car. It was made back in the 90s to stand neck and neck with the likes of Ferrari and Porsche.
You sound just like Shingo. Speaking about Shingo, you know that if a rookie beats us with his NSX, we won't hear the end of it, right?
I don't even want to think about giving Shingo the satisfaction.
Better focus and win this thing then.
By the way, do you know what NSX stands for?
New sports car experimental.
I wasn't asking you, Hina.
See that awesome canyon on the left? Eyes on the road, Hina. Festival mood they set. Feels just like our own traditional festival back home.
Hmm. ゲストは車の扱いを心得てるらしい。面白いじゃないか。
The podcast continues. What are the skills?
Our next stop, Canal. The pack is waiting for you there and is willing to show you some more of the racing culture.
The awareness that you need to be able to do this.
Yeah, Red Bull Airways was one of the best flying I ever had a chance to be, and
Wangen-sen, also called Tokyo Bayshore Route, or Route B, is a famous stretch of highway for street racers. Almost every racer in the 80s and 90s knows about it.
you know, you fly aircraft at 400 kilometers per hour between gates, which are only...
In fact, some of the best drivers have pushed their engines on this very road. Even notorious racing groups, like the Midnight Club, cut their teeth here. And that's what slightly inspired our next event.
Kilometers apart, and the entire track has like 6 kilometers length and wide in under a minute sometimes, you know. Incredible speeds. The aircraft can roll 420 degrees per second at 0.8 seconds to make a full roll. You need to be incredibly precise and a really good pilot in order to plan, not to stay behind the plane. Really good hand-to-eye coordination, I think, is a key factor, and as well as physical fitness, because, you know, we are so close to the ground, pulling high G forces. If you lose your concentration for a couple of seconds, this can be really bad for you.
Can you tell us, like, how you came from, it's quite a small place in Poland that you grew up in, to how you managed to take those steps to becoming the amazing pilot that you are today?
I think it's all about the motivation. You know, if you have a big...
Hey there. Word in the street is that you shine like a real hasheria with my NSX. Got me interested.
Well, then I believe you're in for a treat.
Oh, yeah? Well, bring it on.
The show continues, kid, but watch out. You're driving Ren's Skyline this time, and there's no word to tell you how crazy she is about that car.
Can't blame her. The R-34 is a legend.
It's a kaiju.
The Skyline is an icon. It's a powerful car that takes skill to control.
Yep. Ren spent years taming that beast. That car got nicknamed Godzilla for a reason.
So basically, you crash Ren's car, better leave the planet.
Let's just rewind. Let's call this a duo.
Nice move. That path is perfect to get a taste of the Wangen spirit, an absolute myth among Japanese street racers.
Yeah, picture the Tokyo Bayshore route, with one thing in mind, never slowing down.
In a Wangen race, you gotta go fast, Bren.
Well, guys, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. This is the skyline we're talking about.
These dragons are massive.
You got a wish to make?
Not bad for a rookie.
Sharp turn. Careful.
Reminds me of that time Shingo missed a turn during a midnight race, supposedly because he was dazzled by the moonlight.
Oh, shut up. I remember that.
いい腕だ。スカイラインがまた覇権を取ったと知ればレンが喜ぶぞ。
Back to our podcast that you grew up in, to how you managed to take those steps to becoming the amazing pilot that you are today.
I think it's all about the motivation.
Modern drifting technique was perfected by Japanese gearheads who raced in the mountains in order to keep city pedestrians safe. Along with suboptimal road conditions, these mountain passes are filled with hairpin turns and other challenges. Drifting is the best way to take sharp turns without losing speed.
You know, if you have a big goal set somewhere on the horizon, then you'll find a way to find the next step and next step. And it's all about those small steps that when you achieve them, they will keep you going. And I didn't have a very rich parents to support me. To start gliding, I was doing building jobs, renovating the hangar, helping out around the aircraft.
In Japan, we call these passes toge. There's even a toge style of racing.
I was 19. I had to make some decisions about going to uni or maybe to the Air Force. The Air Force didn't recruit. I didn't have money for the uni. But I was so motivated, I applied for
The winding mountain roads of Hawaii are as close as we could get to Japan. So we figured it would be a good place to teach you.
all-pair program, and I became a babysitter at 19. I moved to UK, and when the kids were at school, I would just run to the airport and help with the aircraft maintenance there. That's how I got my private pilot license for powered aircraft, and I just kept going at it, and it was really good, giving me the motivation to go step by step.
What I was thinking to myself when I was listening to your story there, like, not everybody feels as comfortable as you would be flying a plane. I mean, much less racing or backflipping in one. What are your top 5 tips for anyone who wants to successfully fly a plane?
You need to love it. When I started flying, you can...
Oh, and one last thing. A toge race usually features only 2 racers. You got it. You're in for a duel.
Just imagine my disappointment. It's been my dream for many, many years, and I started flying. What I realized is that I'm getting motion sickness, and I was sick every single flight. But human body is so amazing, and it adapts. That after a couple of months, I didn't have a problem with that. And there's been so many obstacles in my life that try to stop me from flying. But if you love it, you'll do anything to be good at it. And
It's just you and me this time. Why don't we put the whole festival euphoria on hold for a while and get a proper face-off? Let me show you what toge is all about. Careful, buddy.
It's like it never... Let's just rewind that one.
The key to toge is being able to balance the brake and gas pedal at every turn. One wrong move and you're out. Nice move. This technique isn't easy, but when you pull it off, you feel like the greatest driver alive, and the coolest. Tonight, your ride is a 3rd Gen 2002 Mazda RX-7. Lightweight, compact, a sick rotary engine, and one hell of a look. That's Tanana's car, and she seems pretty confident you can beat me with it. Let's prove her wrong. There's a tunnel coming. It gets tricky at high speed. Make sure you don't lose control. All the way down. That's the best and also the toughest part, so stay sharp. Just a few more laces and this is it. Come on, show me some real toge driving. keep your driving steady. Okay, you got me fair and square. Way to conclude the first half of that playlist.
Let's get back to Motorfest the podcast.
Now that you're all warmed up, how about a full-on drift event? The airport is right on the coast, and the view of the ocean is stunning. At least that's what my databases tell me. Again, I'm just a robot. I hope you've liked the RX-7, because you'll be driving it again during this challenge. Except this time, she'll be waiting for you all modded and upgraded. You've seen traditional Japan, now it's time to enter the modern age. Be prepared, the contrast is stunning.
It's me, Hinata. Incredible, you did beat Hayato in that Toga duel. I knew it. There's something about you. Hayato is one of the best racers I know. Kudos. And now, welcome to my playground, the drift track. Drifting was born in Japan. That is where you'll find the biggest drifting scene and some of the best drifting spots, of course. Like The EBC circuit is one of the most famous places in the world for drifting. Designed by drifters, for drifters. Who knows? Maybe Motorfest will get you drifting there someday. How do you feel about my modded RX-7? Tougher yet still elegant? That is my RX-7 2.0 for you. Because Japanese car culture isn't only famous for its drifting history, it also brought modded cars to another level, among many other things. Come on, you're almost done. Push that beauty to its limit. You have my permission.
Drifting is a popular racing style in Japan. But drag racing also gets its fair share of gearheads. There's a drag spot set up not too far from here. Drifting is a popular racing style in Japan, but drag racing also gets its fair share of gearheads. There's a drag spot set up not too far from here. Set your sights and then... Let's complete this playlist. We're very proud and grateful to present what is probably the most homemade playlist of all. The heart of this one is entirely composed of mountains, jungles, volcanoes, and oceans.
I've never owned a V12, so I'd say my dream car now is a Ferrari F12 TDF, which is an NAV12, but it's front engine. But I think they're unbelievable, death trap, savage looking things, and I'd love to drive one or own one.
Beautiful. I would go for 812 Competizione just simply because that is the most aggressive looking Ferrari in the world. I just think it's so sick. I'll probably get hung, drawn, and quarter for saying this. I actually prefer it over the TDF. I prefer the 812, so sorry. What's happening, guys? My name is Becky Evans, and welcome to the Motorfest, the podcast, brought to you by Red Bull and Ubisoft's iconic game, The Crew Motorfest. This is the podcast where I get to chat with some of the world's leading motorsport athletes and delve into their passions for all things speed, wings, and wheels. And the really cool thing is, you can actually listen into this podcast whilst you're playing the game. Today on the show, I'm going to be talking to talented mountain biker and YouTuber Matt Jones, who describes himself as a master of all trades and proud philosopher. A quick look at his YouTube, which is 900,000 subscribers strong, gives us an idea of how passionate and dedicated he is about his job, his career as a pro mountain bike rider, and of course his famous love for all things automobiles. He has got quite the incredible garage, and we're going to find out exactly what's hiding in there. Let's start the show. Matt, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on Motorfest podcast. How are you?
Yeah, good. What a time, eh? Yeah, buzzing to be on this. Thank you.
We're going to jump straight into the questions today, which is one question I ask all of my guests. If you could be a car, a plane, a boat, or a bike, with or without a motor, which would you be and why?
I wouldn't be a plane. It's freezing up there. I don't think I'd be a car either, or a bike, because they just live in the back of a van. I think I'd be a boat. Looks pretty chill and you just waft around, don't you? Even when you're not being used, you're just bobbing about. I think I'd be a boat.
You're in for the Hawaii Scenic Tour. Another activity awaits.
All right, let's keep talking.
I don't think I'd be a car.
You must have felt it since your arrival. This island is something.
Either.
But before exploring Hawaii, let's celebrate it with a quick tour on the Motorfest grounds.
Or a bike, because they just live in the back of a van. I think I'd be a boat. Looks pretty chill and you just waft around, don't you? Even when you're not being used, you're just bobbing about. I think I'd be a boat.
That's the most interesting reply I've had to that question out of all the people I've spoken to on this podcast. Like, I want to be a plane. It's cold up there. Some people are like, yeah, the freedom of it, the tranquility. You're like, nah.
Welcome to the Car Meet. This is the Motorfest Social Hub, and it's also a place where you can access all the features of the festival. Check out the main stage, where you can join in on the custom show or explore and compete to become a genuine Motorfest legend. Of course, you can hop into the playlists. You already know how wild those can get. Don't forget the live event's monthly theme. We like to change things up around here. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Look around and have fun. Bye.
Bit cold. He's a true Midlander. I always ask that question to my guests because we're trying to see how this choice reflects personality. And for you, I feel like it's very matter of fact. You're very straight to the point. And it kind of, I think the fact that you wanted to be an engineer in a past life before you came to slopestyle riding, it explains a lot, don't you think?
Yeah, that was my plan. I didn't realise mountain biking was a career. I just loved doing it. So I had a spot at university to do mechanical engineering. That was my interest. I'm quite like maths, physics. And I guess, like you said, maybe a bit black and white personality, but yeah, I've probably become a little bit more colourful over the years. But yeah, definitely back then I was just interested in numbers.
Well, let's talk about your discipline itself. So slopestyle riding, break it down for me, for somebody, because I've always been things with motors. And this is completely self-pedaled, self-propelled. So talk me through slopestyle riding.
Yeah, you're right. No motors. I didn't know motors for a long time. It's a gravity sport.
You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tell me all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a fuck, that's what they don't understand. I can eat like those things that I progress while I'm sleeping. I'm coming out, my roots leaving, don't give a fuck, I don't care.
Welcome to the Custom Show. Here you can vote for your favourite vehicles of the week or register your customised ride to the competition to get rewards based on your ranking.
Right, so you build up a load of speed, ride down a roll in, and you hit jumps. You have to do tricks in the air, as complex and creative as you can think of. Series of jumps, because in slopestyle competitions they build like a full course down a mountain or through the streets of the city. You do as many bangers as you can in a row, land them all perfectly, and that's how you're judged. So it's a creative, independent sport. It's not a race, you're not really competing against anyone, kind of just against just...
There's been times.
You must have felt it since your arrival. This island is something. But before exploring Hawaii, let's celebrate it with a quick tour on the Motorfest grounds.
I was working 12 to 14-hour days, 7 days a week, working 2 or 3 different jobs sometimes, just to pay for another hour of flying and another flying lesson. And yeah, it's been worth it.
Welcome back to MotorFest, the podcast. My name is Becky Evans, and this is a podcast brought to you by Red Bull and Ubisoft's iconic game, The Crew MotorFest. Now, in this podcast, this is where I get to talk to motorsport athletes about their passions, all things speed, wings, and wheels. And you know what the really cool thing is? You can actually listen to this podcast whilst you're playing the game. So grab one of your dream vehicles, jump in, strap in, because you're about to hear from the athletes that actually get to drive these in the real world. Let's get the show started. Now, today we've got a very, very special guest. We're going to be chatting to Luke Chapella. Luke is a multi-award winner